Okay, what's going on, guys? I'm trying this restream uh, service in order to be able to live stream online. And in order to do it, that's fine. But if you're using your cell phone, I don't see a way to share my screen. So I can't really do videos that require me to share streams in the way that, you can do them with the PC or the way that I would like to do them. When it comes to video platforms, all I can tell you guys is it's pretty simple. If you have a product to sell, you're going to go you'll Google podcast platforms. And then what you do is you're going to scroll down and you're going to see all kinds of platforms, right? And if you're looking at getting on just a platform where you can do specific videos, like if you want to do videos selling products, then you'll want to gear your live streaming videos or your videos in general that you just upload. You can, play with them, put music to them, whatever, dice them up, pull them together, edit out or in, whatever it is that you need to do. And then you can upload your videos to those sites. Those sites should be geared towards what you're doing. So if you're selling a product, you want to go to sites that are geared for that can generate you viewership, that's going to generate you income, people that spend money. Now, right now, for example, if you're looking to be on a social platform and you want to make money, Twitter is not the place to go, but it will be probably within the next year, or maybe two at the most, but definitely within the next year or two. You want to gear towards uploading your short videos to a place like Twitter, right? But not right now, because there are other sites where other social networks where they do generate more money. Facebook's definitely not it. If you generate anything on Facebook, that's fine and dandy. You can pay for people to come in and watch your videos. That's fine and dandy. But if you're not, so to speak, in their groove, you're not going to generate any cash. And even if you are, you're probably not going to generate very much, because Facebook does not have a good following base anymore. TikTok seems to be the #1 social network for generating money. So if you're selling a product, depending on your product that you're selling, obviously the #1 site to do that on is TikTok. I believe they now have a maximum amount of time of 5 minutes on TikTok. There's a lot of time to do your little advertisement video, and of course you can use an application of any kind in order to edit your video and then upload it to a place like TikTok. So if you're looking at generating an audience, like if you're looking to become popular on a social platform or something of that nature, TikTok is pretty good. But again, you don't want to do live streaming on TikTok. Live streaming is not really the best way to generate funds unless you're at an event. Now, if you're at an event such as a fundraiser or a concert, or if you're in a band and you're playing for high-end clientele at birthday parties and events and things of this nature, then you can do live streaming. There's a multiple ways. There's a multitude of ways to do that. #1, you can get on Google. Now, Google Earth or Google, you can go through Google, like Google Mapping, for example, and you can pinpoint where you're at and you can flip on and do a video. It'll be live stream. It will not, however, stay on Google. There's the difference. In order to do that, you have to upload a video to your Google account in order for it to stay on the Google platform. But then again, it's only on your Google platform. So for example, if you are somebody who does bingo, and you have bingo set up in 38 locations. But let's say you also do fundraiser events, or you do events at birthday parties and whatnot, and people can play a little bingo, and you got your little bingo deal set up, and you're turning the deal and pulling out numbers and calling out the numbers, and people are winning, right? Okay, that's a fun activity. Now, if, for example, you wanted to live stream that activity, you can do it through a multitude of platforms, right? There are several platforms that will not save your video on a platform. So it's just that one-time live event. People either click on and see it right then and there, or they don't. So let's say if you're at an event in, let's say, Oklahoma City, and you're live streaming from that event at Oklahoma City, you want to use platforms that are real time. So instead of just platforms that are going to save your video to that location, you can use an application like StreamYard, which is having a lot of problems right now, or Restream, which also has a lot of problems right now. But however, you can use the YouNow platform or the YouTube platform. You can restream to multiple locations. So if you pay the price for the month, for example, you can go to 10 different locations, right? So that gives you a lot of options. You can both live stream at live stream locations and events. So those places will not record and will not keep your videos. Now your service will. So for example, if you're on a Restream or a StreamYard type of application, you can click on and look at your video list that it's saved. You can download that video also, or you can download it instantly and record it right off of your PC if you're using a PC. If you're not, then later on when you get to your PC, you can download it to your PC, edit that video. You can even edit that video with a multitude of other events that you've been at, put them all together and make a pretty awesome video, right? You see it a lot on these real life application shows. A lot of couples are on these sailboats, for example. They might have their child with them. They might not. It may be an individual sailing across the world in a boat, you know. And now what these type of people do is, of course, they create a lot of video footage, and then they go and they grab certain elements out of those videos. They download them to their PCs, and then when they get, of course, to where they're going, they use a service and upload those videos, those edited videos, to a place where it can generate them a lot of followers. What you do want is you always want a lot of followers, no matter what you're doing. Some of the better platforms have their own pages. So, for example, you might be on YouTube and see a video. Let's say I go buy a sailboat and I decide I'm going to sail around the world and visit every country in the world that is attached to the coast. Okay? So let's say a buddy of mine wants to go with me and a couple of girls want to go with us. And we just decide, okay, that's what we're going to do. So I go out and buy a 40-foot sailboat, and we set sail. We get to another country. Let's say our first stop is South America. So I'm going to start stopping off at these countries that are safe to go to in South America. One of those countries, of course, would be Brazil. But you got to know where to go in Brazil, because there's certain places you definitely don't want to go. And you go and you have a good time at Brazil, and you record all of your event and whatnot. You get back to your boat, you get back to your computer, and you download that video onto your PC. Now, if you're trying to create a large following base, here's what you do. You're going to upload that video to multiple platforms. One of those platforms is probably going to be TikTok. So what you're going to do is you're going to take out and make a 5-minute video of your experience in Brazil. And then you're going to upload that to TikTok. but it's going to be right under 5 minutes, right? So everybody on TikTok can see you having a great time on your sailboat. Then with the entire video, you want to edit that. Maybe there's a boring spot in it for about 15 minutes. You're going to cut that out, right? And it might just show you walking from one place, and then instantly it shows you going into the next place. So you cut out your walking time. I see some comments down there. How you doing, Maurice Duck and Brandon Quay? I see you guys down there. Boy, I tell you, Mo's here because he wants me for content, and Brandon, well, he's just a guy saying hi. I do want to talk to you after this video, Brandon. Okay, so here's another deal. So if you take that video and you upload it to YouTube, and let's say I do that, and Brandon Quay jumps in and he goes to YouTube and he sees that video. But let's say Brandon decides to go back 1.5 years and watch my very first video from when I first purchased my used boat and I was fixing it up and all that cool do-it-yourself stuff. That's you know, if I don't go out and buy a new boat per se, right? So he gets caught up and he decides he wants to know if I have a community or not. So now let's say if I do have a community, let's say I'm on Facebook and I upload a lot of other content besides just my videos that you see on YouTube, Brandon might want to go join my Facebook little group over there, right? But he's still not really getting a lot more content, he notices. But he also notices both on YouTube and Facebook that I have a private membership community that he can join for $5 a month. So he's going to click on that link. He's going to go to that link and he's going to check it out. And he's going to say, whoa, hey, if I join membership number 1, I got a lot more cool content. And he's at number 1 right now, right? So he joins it. And then he goes in and he's looking around at the membership roles. Membership number 2, you got to pay, you know, $15 a month. But look at what you get for $15 a month. Instead of just the general happy-go-lucky videos, you might get to see more videos. Like maybe I recorded a shootout in Brazil, which I'm not going to show on YouTube. Or I might show more content, right? It might be me having adult time with the woman that I'm selling with, sort of thing. Brandon might be one of those guys and think, yeah, I'd like to see a little more of this couple and how they enjoy life. So he's going to go and click eventually, and he's going to click on the $15 a month. So every month I'm generating $15 out of him and probably 100 other people. So now I'm making $1,500 a month because I got all of these members at level number 2. And I got maybe 300 at level number 1. So that's a lot more money right there, right? So if you continue to your revenue like that, and you're generating a lot of revenue, which that would be a really good bit of revenue after about 1 year selling around the world, right? So now let's say I'm over in Europe and I go to Spain. And I'm videotaping, I'm going to these restaurants, and I'm eating at cool places you didn't even know exist, right? Okay, so then now you're uploading your videos to YouTube. You're generating more people watching your stream. YouTube's fairly limited, perhaps. So again, you're going to continue to upload to other sites like TikTok, or maybe you go join you decide you want more people watching your stream. So what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up going to a place like like Free Speech Systems. But Free Speech Systems is not a place I'm going to advise to you. They have a lot of other places that they do advertise, for example. Okay, they have places you may have never heard of before. Advertise Cast is another one. Generally, they're more into selling products and things of that nature. But if you come in there with a niche, you're doing your own thing, it's a little bit different for that type of platform. They might be excited about having you. So they're going to accept you into their platform, okay? Now, you got TripAdvisors would also take some of your videos, for example, if you're into selling and traveling, for example. So there's just a multitude of a lot of other streams that you can do. Cast-Offs, Podbean, Resonate. Podbean and Resonate are not bad platforms that ought to be on if you're trying to generate more revenue, for example. So you're going to continue to try these different platforms and see what's best for you. My best advice to you is, prior to having to do that, just Google what is best for you. And you can go to these sites, and it may be the 10 top sites for podcasting revenue, or it may be just the best 10 top sites for generating a bigger audience. So you're going to get on there and you're going to compare all of these lists, and you're going to see who does what kind of business, right? So if you want, let's say you're down around 5,000 followers total, and you're trying to get up there, you're trying to muscle your way up into having more viewers. My best advice is to go look for those platforms that you can join in order to generate more viewership. And there are certain platforms you can use. Now, a lot of those platforms are to where you can only upload a video for 3 minutes. Some platforms have it for 5 minutes, and then other platforms, it's a lot longer. It may be 30 minutes, it might be 2 hours, it may be 8 hours. So then you have to decide what platform is going to generate you the bigger audience. Number one, you want a bigger audience. The bigger audience, the more people that's going to share your videos. The more people that share your videos, of course, the bigger audience you're going to end up having. However, if you're trying to sell a product, like you're trying to sell around the world and get paid, you're probably not going to be happy down around $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, because you're also going to have a lot of expense. So if you're down there and just starting out, and you gotta say you started out, a few months, you generated real good revenue, and you're up around 1,500, but man, you need a lot more money than that to keep your boat up and to buy your food constantly and so forth, unless you're really budgeting. See, so all of those people generally really know how to budget their money really good, and 1,500 a month can generally get you around, but you're probably going to end up stuck like on an island somewhere until you can generate enough money to repair your boat at times. So now you find yourself in need of better revenue. You need a lot more revenue, right? So there are sites that will get you more revenue. Again, what you got to do is simply Google for those specific sites and join the very best ones. Now, here's a big trick I've learned. A lot of these people will try out the first, second, and third most popular sites for that, to brag that they're going to bring you the most revenue. Those sites are not always being honest with you. So you really need to look at the entire list, and you really need to pay attention by Googling not only your platforms that you're on, but join those other podcasters groups. What I mean by that, I don't mean just your Facebook groups or your Discord groups or your other groups of other social networks that you might be on. Minds might be another one. They have groups over there, and all these other social networks. So what you're specific looking for is that person's group. You dig? And that's going to be on their page, and you're going to have to pay for that. It may be $5 a month. It might be $10 a month just to get you in the door. But here's the trick. Once you're in the door, you're looking at their platform. Now you can see the entire platform. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you go to a podcaster like Drunken Peasants, they have a really good outline. I'll give you an example. So Drunken Peasants, their platform is set up so if you want to be in their podcast, let's say 3 weeks from now on a Sunday, you're going to be on an island near Spain because you done sailed your boat all the way around there to Spain. Okay, and you got a lot of videos of you going to different cities in Spain, having a good time. Maybe it's at the restaurants or the pubs, or maybe attending their local sports events or what have you. Okay, so then you're going to turn around and you might travel to a little island out there, right? Okay, so let's say you're on some little island out there and you're having a good time and you are videotaping that experience. A lot of people are going to be looking for those videos who normally watch you on these other platforms. What they're not going to see is a lot of the other type content that you're going to put up. The only people that get to see that content is people that join your group. Drunken Peasants is not set up like that. Okay. So, however, they do have a good setup because if you want to be in their stream, so let's say you go to this island, you got a good internet connection, and you told that guy ahead of time, Ben, that you want some time on their live stream, right? So, okay, that'd be great. He'd love to have you. Okay, his audience has got a lot of questions for you. Several people that follow his podcast also follow you. So you're going to not only join his podcast, but you're going to pay him $100. And $100 is going to get you about 30 minutes. $300 get you about an hour. $800, well, that'll get you the entire podcast. It's yours. You're going to run it. So now you're spending time in other people's podcasts, getting your name out there. You dig? But if you're the Drunken Peasants, you got people paying you money every single time you go live stream pretty much. Glock, I don't know who you are, but what's up, my man? Peace out to you too. So there's a lot of people that follow me, for example. I don't have a good setup like that. I don't have my own page. I don't have, I'm not on any platforms except for pretty much YouTube and a couple of others. I get a lot of email though. I have a lot of problems because, of course, generally, like a lot of other people, I have my own stalkers too. These type of stalkers, they get bored when you don't give them any attention or don't pay them any time. So, what I generally do when people ask me, how come I haven't been live for a while, I have to answer them wherever they send me the message. Got a couple today, for example, I answered on Facebook. I might have a couple of others on one of my email channels, so I'll go there and I'll answer it. That's very pragmatic. It's very spread out. It's not something that's very consistent. I don't run a regular show on a regular day. Like I don't do a show every Thursday at say 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. or whatnot. So because I don't do that, I don't have a need for a big platform because I'm not looking for a huge audience to generate a lot of income. However, if you are following those both examples is a good way to do it. Number one, you want people to join level 2 so they can see content that they're not going to get on a normal platform, like a social network platform. So now you got people paying you $15 a month so they can watch extra content. Probably pretty good content if you're getting $15 a month, right? So you can also have another section where when you do go live stream, which imagine if you're on a sailboat, it's only going to be once a month. However, you can charge people to come be into your live stream. It may be other people that have sailboats that always wanted to venture the world. It might be other boaters. It might be some guy that lives on a yacht. It might even be somebody that builds new boats and would love to have you on their boat doing a live stream, talking about their new boat because they're trying to generate a bigger audience. You see this happen whenever you run in through a show like Selling Uma, for example. They have a big following. They got like 1.5 plus million followers. They generate probably upwards around 750,000 a year plus. total revenue. They have a lot of avenues where they do get money, and they've tried a lot of different things. But by watching other podcasters, you can also see, for example, how they do things. And that is also my advice towards people trying to generate money or trying to generate a good following base. Anybody will tell you that if you're trying to do sports and then you got your own products for sale, well, number one, you got to have a store. So you got to go start up your store and get that going, right? And that'll cost you a few $100s to get that going. And that's fine and dandy. Doesn't matter how you do your products, whether people are buying them and the merchant that, say, for example, makes the coffee cups, ships them directly for you, or you pre-order like 1,000 t-shirts so you can buy them at $5 a t-shirt or $10 a t-shirt, or maybe you double it and now you get them for $5 a shirt or $8 a shirt. Well, now you can make a better profit selling your product. But here's the kicker. You got to get people over there to buy your product. So you need a lot of people watching your videos. So if you're a guy like that does Pittsburgh Steelers videos like Jens, you're going to need a big following. Now, before his channel was taken down, he did have over 300,000 followers. 300,000 followers generates into a lot of people buying your product. If you got your product for sale and you got a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans out there watching your live stream because you're the #1 Pittsburgh Steelers podcaster online, which Jens Nation Sports is that. He's the #1 podcaster for the Pittsburgh Steelers fans. He generates a pretty good income when he has his audience built up. Now, how does he get his audience? He does short videos. He can post them on TikTok. He can post them on a lot of different in a lot of different places. Even on Twitter, you see him on Twitter. Also, YouTube is going to generate a certain amount of following over there, and also on Facebook and other places. There's a lot of other places that you can generate a good following base. However, once you got a good following base, let's say your income is up there around $150,000 a year. Some podcasters make a lot more. Some they're not making that much. But let's say you're making $150,000 a year podcasting. Okay, now you see that falling down. It's dripping down. You're down there now around 130,000 and then 115, 110,000, and you can't figure out why. Right? Well, number one, it might be your content is very repetitive. So that is, of course, a constant issue with a lot of people that are doing those type of videos, and people that are selling products in general, right? So you always want to mix up your videos. So if you're on a sailboat, you might want to take down your main mast, right? So you're going to go dock your boat. They're going to take your boat and they're going to lift it out of the water. They're going to lift that main mast out, lay it down for you, and you're going to proceed to fix it. Generally, what I've seen with those type of shows, for example, is the sail might be too small. So now you got to go buy a bigger sail, so then when you do pull that thing tight, it don't bend the main mast. You dig? That's generally the problem on a lot of sailboats, is the people buy a mast that's a little bit too short. So when they pull it tight, it bends the main mast a little bit. So you need a taller mast so that when you do pull it tight, it don't bend the main mast. Now, you might think that's not good content. That is tremendously great content, because now you can label it as a do-it-yourself, a DIY video. And how many times do you watch people doing that activity? You don't see it a lot. You don't see it on everybody who owns a sailboat, for example, because they all don't do it. Sailing is a prime example. I got to keep going back to them because they have done that. And they continue to do anything they do on the boat, they broadcast it. So when you find a broadcaster like those, or somebody that's uploading and they have their own show, you want to go watch those people for the, not just for the content that they're putting out. Nah, you want to watch their show because they're going to start telling you things like who's the best editor to purchase for $10 a month or whatever. They might tell you, and you can see the results of their video by watching the video, right? So you'll know if that is a really good place to go buy your video edit. It might be something online that you can do on your cell phone even. You know you want to buy that product because it's going to help you to produce better videos and then thereby upload those videos. So, for example, if you use an application or a platform like Podbean or StreetBeam or whatever, Podbeam's a really good one to use. It's just the number of examples that are out there for people to use as a platform. Here's the difference. If you have your own club, you can generate a very, very large amount of income. That is the number one way that you're going to generate your income. It's not selling products. Selling products, you can do really good, but selling products, you're going to generate a little bit of income in comparison. Because, again, you see every single podcaster that is pretty good at podcasting or uploading videos, giving you that kind of content. Go join their site. I joined Selling Umas one time for a month for the low end because I was just poking around. But what you get to do is you get to see the numbers involved. Okay, so if you got 3,000 people paying these people $50 a month because they want all of the content, that's a lot of freaking dough. $100 times 50. You do that 3 times. Now you're generating a lot of money. But Selling Uma just don't have that. Oh no, they got a lot more followers than that over there. I'm just giving you a prime example. You go selling your products. Okay, let's say you're buying t-shirts at $5 a pop and you sell it for $25. You're making $25 a t-shirt. Let's say in the entire year you sell 100 t-shirts. You didn't really make that much in comparison, did you? It's not even close. Over a period of time, especially over a period of 5 years, when you're generating that loyalty base, those people will buy into your product, and you're going to end up making a lot of money. That's something I need to think about doing for the future because I have future plans for better, different type videos, like visiting different countries in Africa, for example, and showing you the entertainment sections of those countries and what's good about, well, if you're thinking about taking a vacation to, say, Guam, or you want to take a vacation to Sierra Leone, well, those countries are pretty close together. So you can go to Guam or Guyana, or you can go to any country along the west coast there, and you can visit those countries and take the videos, and then of course go back and edit your videos because now you know what kind of good editing hardware to use or what application to go purchase to edit your videos, whether it's online. Now here's of course the drawback of doing it online. You got to have a good like router. You got to have a good home base type or of internet service, or you got to be to where you can get to something like a Starbucks coffee. And that's going to take you a little time. It could take you an hour, maybe 2 hours editing a video. So if you're doing editing online, it could be a drawback to some people, but not everybody. Or you can use a computer that'll push a good editor And of course, maybe you probably want to buy something like a 32-bit with at least a 500 gig or maybe a 1 terawatt memory, because you're working with videos. So you got to have plenty of that space. You got to have plenty of RAM to push it. So that's the type of computer you're going to buy. So let's say you go out and spend $1,000 to $3,500, and you buy a computer that'll push that type of video editing. And you can use 16 gigabyte to do it, really. It'll take you a little more time to do it with 16 gigabyte, but you can do it with a 16 gigabyte just fine. So if you got a type of videos that may take you a long time, like days and days to edit, well, then you're not really going to be wanting to so much use an online editor, because an online editor would be something you're going to do for a quick video edit, right? Something you can do within an hour. You're not looking at spending a lot of time going around looking for different music to put in different parts or different sections of your video. So now you're going to take and you're going to upload that video, and you know where to upload that video. You know, now you're going to know what kind of editor to use. See, a lot of people do these streams. A lot of people do these streams. And a lot of people, most people, they don't have any kind of setup like that. So if you are looking at generating an income doing your live stream base, that is what you want to look at. Now, when it comes to Yinzer, I don't see him with that type of setup. So for a guy like him, I would definitely suggest a fan-based group site like Selling On Me. You can go join it, and they're pretty cheap to join. Just the base number is only like $5. So for $5 and up to $50, depending on what level you're at, you can go in there and watch different level of videos and content. See, that you're never going to get just watching on YouTube. Maybe you can't afford none of that, so you're just going to watch it on YouTube, and that's fine. Maybe you're the guy that wants to buy a t-shirt. Well, now, do they have a product base for sale? See, now they got to go out, like Jens does have that, so you can go out and buy his t-shirts or his coffee mugs or a cool freaking hat if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Or if you're somebody that's vacationing in Pittsburgh, you want to buy the Pittsburgh Steelers hat, right? So you can look cool while you're walking around, and everybody just look at you. Hey, man, what's up, man? Like your hat. Yeah, thanks, man. And you know, just keep on walking or whatever. So it depends on what kind of product, number one, you're selling. So if you're doing entertainment, such as just traveling the world, or if you run a fundraising event or a bingo event or any of those type of activities, well, then you definitely want to think about having a club type network setup. So again, go check out Selling Uma on YouTube. Click on their little deal and join it. I think it's just $5 to join, maybe $10 to join. So, but once you get on there, the benefit is you can look at their entire setup and copy it. You can do exactly what they do. Now you're going to start up making maybe $10 a month, but it's quickly going to go up 100 to 1,000 and so on. I've been watching these podcasters for a long time. I watch all kinds of podcasts. I don't even care about the content that much. But because I want to know, I'm trying to learn more and more about their setup. That's more important to me in the future whenever I am doing other types of videos and I want to start up a regular based show. So number two, you want a product line. So you got to figure out what's the best place to go for a store. And there's a lot of places you could just Google and find you a place that fits your budget for whatever you need to do. And then, of course, you'll have that. And your very most loyal fans are always going to buy your product, at least a certain percentage of them, if they can afford anything, right? They're going to be buying your product left and right. So now you got product selling, and you got your membership due fees coming in, and you dictate how much that's worth. You can do that through practice and error, or you can just set a price because you're comparing your site to another site that does the same thing. You dig? You might go to Thailand and get a Thai massage. I suggest that for a lot of people that end up bored in life and just want something to do on vacation. Go to a country in Asia. Any of those countries are really cool. Vietnam is a really good country to visit, believe it or not. South Korea is another great country to visit. And you can hire women there, or men, depending on your preference and your gender, of course, I would imagine, to give you a massage and let you record it. And they all have their special ways of giving a massage. I guarantee you, if you're getting a top massage from one of them over there, that is great content. It's great content you can use to add into your video or to make its own individual self-standing video. So now, if you're somebody that's traveling the world, going on vacation, to say you go to 5 different countries in Asia, and you're generating content doing that, and then you come back and take a break for a few months, and you're really just concentrating on how can I generate better revenue next time I go on a vacation somewhere. So let's say you got it all figured out, you got all your P's and Q's crossed, and in between your vacationing, you're doing a live stream one day out of the week. And let's say that's on Saturday. You then, in your membership section, you have dates where you're going to be live streaming. Then you can generate funds by simply people paying you to be in your live stream. You're only going to get people who are, number one, dedicated fans. See. Number two, then you're also generating income off your fan base, because it's going to be other people who are interested in doing what you're doing, but maybe not videotaping everything. They just want to go on vacation to certain places. Maybe also you're going to, well, not no maybe too, you're going to end up with fans that just really enjoy what they're seeing in your videos. So now you're generating a back income with fans who just want to talk to you like, man, that video that I saw you get in South Korea was the bomb, baby. I want to do that. Can you tell us the little extra cost that might be involved in taking a trip like that? You know, like, did you go to the movies? What did you pay to do that? Or how much were the drinks at the cocktail bar that we saw you at? You know, you might see comments like that. Even though the price of the products might be in your video for when you went to the bar, because maybe you were also videotaping everywhere you went. Maybe you go to a bar and the martini costs $2 a martini. Okay, so now you get a question that you've already answered in your video, but you don't give a damn, right? Because, hey, the guy is paying to be on your live stream. So when they ask you questions like that, you can answer, well, the martinis are anywhere from $2 to $3 a martini. They're great. They make them out of real papaya or whatever they got over there. And, you know, you can answer questions about the massage. Well, the leg part of the massage, that was really good. It really seemed to free me up a lot. You might go to an Asian country where they're putting those needles up in your blood vessels and cleaning you out real good. They might ask you what was the result of that. What's the dangers involved in it? So now what I'm throwing at you as far as doing a podcast online is not where can you go to get that content, because you can get content anywhere. You can stay right at your house. You can walk outside and do like this. Hey, yo, baby, the Cowboys are going to be the bomb next year. They're getting such and such quarterback. Y'all better look out, NFL. We're going to tear it up this year. You know, whatever your content is that you're generating is always limited by the setup that you have. Do you understand? Now you understand why I'm doing a video on this, because a lot of people don't understand it. The majority of people do not understand this. What's up? Keep coping. Deal me in. I hear you, baby. So, in the future, a year or two from now, when I'm doing different type of videos, I'm going to want to know all of this information. I want to know where's a good platform for me to go join. Now, can I join that platform over there with IP2 and still be allowed to go join that platform over there? Or do I got to sign a deal that says while I'm on their platform, I can't be on these other platforms? You have to take in all of these things into consideration. You might also be tied in to having to do videos with so many videos out of the month or the year with other people on their platform. That is generally not going to be advice for most people doing most types of podcasts. So IP2 would be out of the question, right? Because you're not a drug doing, drinking type of person, and you don't want to be over there getting into fake fights that are semi-real or anything like that. You don't want all of that, the drama that's involved with a platform like that, right? So now you're thinking, well, maybe that's not a good platform, so I'm going to go join excite.com. And I'm going to join their platform because they're pretty much exactly the same, but you don't have all of those requirements. You dig? So what I'm telling you is to search for the platform that best fits what you're doing. You dig? I'm just using YouTube for the most part right now, right? And because I don't have a regular show, I'm not doing regular events. I've had to shag a lot of people here this past year, and whenever you end up with tunnel vision stalkers, you end up with people that get bored to death. They might be drinkers, they might be doing a lot of pill popping, they might be just somebody who's semi-retarded that just is really has nothing to do but sit in front of the PC and go around antagonizing people, and they don't even realize most of the time that they're doing that. These are people that nobody likes, but you're gonna generate that kind of following to a certain degree. At some point in time, you're gonna have to shag those people, right? If you can, and generally you can. There's always a way to do that, but you can block them on social network. You can go join a site. When they go join that over there, you can leave it and just leave them there all alone, picking on each other. You can do a lot of things in that direction. Those things are minor things that can happen along the way that should not worry you that much. Whatever, don't go to Twitch. Whatever you do, don't go to Twitch. Can't breathe without getting a ban. Okay, now, see, that's another good piece of advice right there. Twitch is okay if you stay well within your rights. Number one, if you're going to use any kind of music on Twitch, you also got to post a release for that, showing that music is non-copyright. Just because you see, say, some kid over there doing some kind of dance in the parking lot and they're dancing to some cool tunes, don't mean that you can use that music for your video, because unless they might have special approval, they might have purchased the right to use that music. It doesn't mean it's copyright free. Now, or they might be getting that video taken down and they might be getting banned because they're overstepping their boundaries. They're using copyright content. So that is good advice in a certain way. But if you are somebody, that's not going to be a problem with the copyright music or whatnot. Twitch is another good little avenue to use as far as generating, a fair amount of more followers. It's another platform. So if you're aware of the requirements over there, again, when you're searching for your platform that you want to use, or that you might want to also upload your videos to, again, they're limited on time. So that's another element that you're going to have to consider when considering using a platform like a Twitch or a TikTok or any of those type of platforms. So you upload a video to Twitch, to make sure that video is pro quo, baby. You got no cussing in it. It's very clean. You don't have any copyright sound in it whatsoever. Of course, if you're doing traveling the world, I don't see that as a huge problem unless you're not cutting out the background noise when you're at a bar, for example. Well, now that video you don't want to upload to Twitch because there's not too many bars that don't play copyright music. So that's a bit of common sense right there. The videos you would want to continue to upload to Twitch would be when you're on a sailboat, when you're talking about something, when you're having fun. You're out there on the edge of the front end of the sailboat and you're just standing there with your arms spread out, right? That's video content. And there's a lot of other type of content that they make with the sailboat venues that you can go watch online. You have now, to me, is not a very good network. I don't like the network whatsoever. Some people do. So if you're trying to generate a following base, that's not one that I would suggest, but it might be something that you want to try out because it is up and coming like YouTube, but I think they got a lot of changes they need to make over there in order to continue to progress. If they don't do those things, YouNow is never going to be something that will continue to be a factor online. So you do need to pay attention what platforms you're using for what type of activity that you're doing. So if you're somebody that's doing, for example, fundraiser events, so you got maybe you got some bands that you represent, different venue of bands. One might be country, one might be a style of rock and roll like Kid Rock or something like that. One might be just some down home country music. You might have somebody else who might be just an individual great singer, like maybe a female that sounds just tremendous, and different venues. So now you're an entertainment person and you're putting out videos. If you don't have a following base, you're missing out on a lot of revenue, like a tremendous amount of revenue. I try to tell everybody about those type of things. Again, if you go to Selling Uma and you join their club, you get to see how they're set up. That right there is the exact example how 90% of you people that are out there doing live streams should follow. If you want to generate good revenue and you have a good product to sell, whether it's good entertainment, you might be somebody that does like Sophie Line is another podcaster. I haven't watched her in a while, actually, probably about 3 weeks. But I love Sophie Line for a lot of reasons. Number one, she has a great following base. Number two, she has great content. What she needs is that right there. What Selling Uma has that she don't have. Now, she makes a tremendous amount of revenue, but she also has a regular job. She's just a regular person. She might be building a model tank, okay? And she might edit the video and upload it for you, and boop, boop, you get to see it built pretty quick. And it might be a 4-hour long video, but they're pretty cool the way she does them, right? There are a lot of people that do make models and upload those videos. Some of them are really good, and some of them are boring as hell. Keep coping. I've heard of PKA, but I've never gone over and watched any podcast. Do you follow me on any social network, Coping? You can send me a link, and I'll go check it out, or I can Google it later if I remember and go check it out. The number one thing you need, guys, is you need a product to sell. Number two, that is even more important to that in terms of revenue, is you need a club for people to join. And in that club, you have to have content that they're never going to see on YouTube. Now, on those club sites, you can get away with a lot more. You can use copyright music. You can do nudity. You can do a lot of things that people like. A lot of these people that I mentioned do have and do in their private club section over there. And you're going to generate a lot of revenue. Again, you can go $10 to $50 is the win. Actually, it's $5 to $50. And you might think $5 for 100 members, you're not really making any money. You know, and you might only have 10 members that are up there paying, $25 to watch more content. And you might be thinking, well, that's not a lot of money. That would be a tremendous start for anybody that has any content to put up online, especially after 3 months or 6 months of being online. Because once you're there at that point, you're just going to continue to take off with your numbers. Your numbers are only going to go up as long as you're putting out good content. No. I left Discord. I'm not on the KAF Discord anymore. It's too much trouble. You get a bunch of drunks and fanatics over there that just want to troll people. And they get to drinking, they're lonely, and they will stalk you every which way. They go to where you work, and they lay bad comments over there. They look up your family members. They call them. Discord is the worst social network on the planet. So you're not going to find me over there on Discord. You can find me on Twitter. I'll lay you down a link here in a minute. If you go to, actually, I'm on Discord, but I'm only in 3 groups, and I'm probably never going to go past that. I might even drop one of them before too long. I might only be in 2 groups, or I might just use my group and then that's it. But I got no reason to be in all those little groups over there, because every single one of them is nothing but drama, and people want to look up your information all the time. And even though mine's out there, people just get stupid. They get really stupid on Discord, and they think they can break the law and get away with it. But more times than not, it comes back to bite them in the ass. And I can tell you that for sure. But yeah, if that's your only way of contacting me, that's fine. But let me go get my Twitter link, and I'll share it with you. All right, I'm back. It's all good. I don't know what is inactive, so give me a minute. Okay, I'm back. That was weird, wasn't it? Okay, let me go over here and see about sharing this link here. Oh, I went and copied the wrong link. I can't believe I just did that. Okay, we're back again. Now I can share you the link properly down here. Oh, no, I got to go over here and do it. So I almost did it wrong again. This is a little tricky to use. It's a little different application. The Restream is a little different than